You have to work 8 hours, very hard. It looks nice and clear and cold, and they had no idea that it contains some poisons.
So how long have you been working here? 按照惯例看一下这边的房价，找一个小一点房子，56平的，这多少钱？除以3，100多万的房子。
So 2 years I've been working here, and this is my third.
So how many languages can you speak? English and Czech.
Yeah. Probably the most important was that all the resources underground in the Czech kingdom belonged to the king. If you wanted to mine, you had to ask the king for permission.
这个外面看起来非常的村儿，但是别说这里面看起来条件还可以。然后这是多少钱？这个好像正好是100万。我发现这盛产100万的房子，无论这个面积是多大，都是100万。
Yeah, so here we are.
可以看得出来，捷克人对广告这件事很有理解，很有理解。这里的建筑风格感觉非常的中国，就应该是那个苏联时期留下来的吧。无论这个面积是多大，都是100万，有意思。
And it's actually an original from the 16th century that was used for silver mining. This one arm had to be replaced. That's a new wood, but the rest is original several hundred years.
So how many hours do they have to work?
You have to count also time they need to go down and up. So if they were working somewhere deep underground, like 500 meters, then you have to go down 500 meters using mostly ladders. Then you have to work 8 hours very hard. And then after you are exhausted, you have to crawl back half a kilometer using those ladders. So it was very interesting. Yeah, so here we are, 30 meters underground. So let's go to the left first.
Do I have to turn on the?
Oh yeah, turn on that light, please.
Let me see.
Yeah, definitely better for you.
Oh, it's all that.
Yeah, a lot of water down here. Also, all those interesting mineral shapes, that's all calcium, because there are deposits of calcium-rich minerals above us. And the water is getting here from the surface. You can see all those miners are wearing these. It was common clothing called perkitle. And they made it from the cheapest textile available at that time because they had to pay for it themselves. So they didn't want to waste their hard money.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Can I see the?
This is so-called like a crawling gallery. It's basically a probe. They were searching for new silver veins like this. And you can see they had to be basically lying on their
God, that's so small.
Yeah, and mining. This one is like 15 meters long, and after 50 meters they gave up. They didn't find anything and tried somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah, very comfortable workspace. Up here, that's a preparation of that ore for ore market. That's here. Those people around the table are interested in buying, so some owners of smelting plants. Now they were able to check the amount and quality, so they could decide on their bid. And when they decided, there was an official nearby called the Whisperer, and they whispered that bid into his ear. And after everybody told him, the Whisperer declared the highest bid, and the highest bid won. Oh, simple as that. So here, if you look down, you can see it's a flooded angled shaft originally connecting the second level of the mine, and you can see the water level is like this because simply once they stopped mining, stopped draining that water, everything flooded, so everything below us is underwater. It's also interesting. They made these slots for those lamps they were using, those early terracotta lamps. so they wouldn't have to hold those in their hands. They needed free hands, of course, when they were working. And if you put that lamp on the floor, that's pretty dangerous. You can step on it easily and destroy it. So they were making slots like these. You can still see signs of fire here, even after those hundreds of years. But probably the most important was that all the resources underground in the Czech kingdom belonged to the king. If you wanted to mine, you had to ask the king for permission. Oh. So if you were owner of the mine, you had to pay for everything, of course, miners and so on. And also, because you were mining king's ore, whatever it was, doesn't matter, you had to give a tax to the king, which was approximately 1/8 of that ore you mined out. And that was the system at that time. If you try to translate that amount of minerals into forward movement, if you imagine he was mining some average-sized tunnel, average-sized gallery, then he moved forward 2 or 3 centimeters.
For example, like this hole.
This one. Yeah.
They work. Every people they work a day, and they only push like exactly. 2 or 3.
He was mining like this for 8 hours and moved forward.
2 or 3 in orange. Oh my God, that takes so long to build the road that we went past.
Incredible. So just this, that's months of work. This way they created all those mines in the area, as I said before, 30 square kilometers, 400-500 meters deep. This is poisonous arsenopyrite, so poisonous mineral that was actually occasionally poisoning those underground waters, so miners who were drinking it were sometimes poisoning themselves. When they were preparing this mine for tourists' visitations, they made it more comfortable, so they adjusted the floor. As far as I know, the floor used to be 50 centimeters higher.
You mean 5 centimeters higher or 50?
50.
50?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, like this, so impossible to walk through. People would have to really just drop. There's another of those tiny exploratory tunnels. Yeah.
Oh, how could a person be in there?
I don't know. I wouldn't fit in there, and I'd never try. Like, I think I would get stuck. You can see here those vertical lines. Yeah, those are actually traces made by those old tools when they were mining this tunnel those hundreds years ago. As they were going with those hammers like this, you can still see it. Oh.
这个好像正好是100万，100万住在这个外观看起来像村一样的小别墅里。但说实话，我感觉花100万住在这么村的地方好无聊。